For nearly 40 years, the Rappahannock Area Community Services Board has provided valuable services and supports to individuals with mental illness, intellectual disabilities, and substance use disorders. Our prevention and early intervention programs work to minimize developmental delays and give participants every opportunity to lead successful lives in their home communities. I often tell people RACSB is here for you from birth to the grave. From our outpatient clinics and day support programs to our residential facilities and specialized transportation program and our early intervention and youth programs and case management services, we can positively impact every aspect of an individual's life. Add to that our partnerships with the local departments of social services, schools, nonprofit organizations, and advocacy groups, jail, court system, private providers, and area businesses, and you can clearly see RACSB's strong and dedicated presence in Planning District 16.
We as case managers work with individuals with severe and persistent mental illness in coordinating services for them so that they may be successful in the community. We have some individuals like Katie who have been diagnosed at an early age and have worked through our child and adolescent program into our adult program. And we are so excited to see how well Katie is doing in the community. I personally worked with her through her Western State Hospital discharge into the Home Road Supervised Department program, and she has done so well and is extremely successful in her home community.
Home Road's a great place. It's really a great place because we have staff 24/7. You can always get, well, not always, but when we have time, talk to a staff member about my problems and situations that I've had during the week. Good thing about Home Road is that they can take you out. Like if you have a specific thing to get at a specific store, they might be able to work it in the schedule.
As residential counselors, we support Katie and the other residents to help them regain the skills necessary to live independently within the community. Katie is responsible for her own apartment, cooking and cleaning, and we're here to support, encourage, and celebrate her success.
And the thing is, with Alison, we create a good bond. I can come to her and talk to her about anything almost. If it's that personal, I talk to my parents, but I can go to Alison and say, hey, something's up, I'd like to talk. And Alison is usually there for me, and she's done a great job being a staff member. Camilla Club has been helping me a lot with a lot of job things. My favorite activity clerical is do the phones and do the snack bar. I have been signed up for Woodrow Wilson, which is a training program to get a job.
Kenmore Club is the Rappahannock Area Community Services Board's psychosocial rehabilitation day support program for adults with severe and persistent mental illness. It's a safe place for individuals like Katie to come during the day. We provide recreational activities, volunteer opportunities, educational training, and also supported employment with a focus on person-centered individual recovery.
My friends and Camilla Club members and staff I consider family, yes. It's good to be here, but the surprise I had when I first came here is that I'm leaving after the next 2 to 3 years. I was so surprised on that one. I thought I was going to be staying here for good because my next step is hopefully to be my own apartment. Still have staff help me out with meds and checks, but hopefully I'd like to be my own payee as well. At Camilla Club's talent show, I sung the song Star Spangled Banner and I won first place.
Our team of psychiatrists, psychiatric nurse practitioner, and nurses help support individuals of all ages who require medication to control the symptoms related to their mental illness. We work with the entire treatment team to ensure a coordinated, multidisciplinary approach of care.
Hopefully Katie doesn't need us, but if she does, RACSB's emergency services therapists provide crisis intervention 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We serve as the entry point to the crisis stabilization program and conduct pre-screenings to see if individuals need admission to local and state psychiatric facilities or our community-based crisis stabilization program. We also work with area law enforcement through the new Rappahannock Area Crisis Intervention Team to help divert those identified with a mental illness from incarceration and into appropriate treatment settings.
The Crisis Stabilization Program is a safe, therapeutic residential program for adults experiencing acute psychiatric crisis. The program is a community-based alternative to hospitalization when individuals experience a mental health crisis. Since the program started in January 2007, we have served more than 420 individuals. However, this year alone, there have been 127 incidents where we were unable to serve the individual because we didn't have a bed available. All that will soon change with construction of a new 12-bed facility, the Sunshine Lady House for Mental Health, Wellness, and Recovery, which is generously funded through a $2 million grant from the Doris Buffett Sunshine Lady Foundation. Contingent on new state funding, this new facility will also house a new, secure drop-off for individuals identified by area law enforcement as having a mental illness and who would benefit from this alternative to incarceration.
The grant is also funding the renovation of 818 Lafayette Boulevard into an 8-room boarding house for adults with serious mental illness. These 2 new facilities will significantly enhance residential options in our community. In addition to a case manager based at the Micah Ecumenical Ministries Hospitality House in Fredericksburg, RACSB is partnering with Micah to open a cold weather shelter for the chronic homeless at the old Little Falls School, located on Route 3 East in Stafford County. RACSB works closely with the Rappahannock Regional Jail and Juvenile Detention Center to provide intensive mental health and substance abuse services to inmates. Those served at the jail have access to psychiatrists and expanded case management services for seriously mentally ill defendants. A jail diversion case manager works to divert mentally ill persons who are arrested for minor crimes to community-based programs outside the jail.
The Virginia Wounded Warrior Program for the Northwestern Health Planning Region 1 was created to provide services for veterans and their families across this region. The purpose of the grant was to make sure that there are no gaps in services for veterans and for family members. The focus is to provide help for veterans who have post-traumatic stress disorder and other stress, as well as traumatic brain injuries resulting from service in combat. Any ERA veteran and their family members are eligible. The grant also will provide training for clinicians across this region to help them become competent in the areas of post-traumatic stress disorder, as well as identifying traumatic brain injury. Then links will be made with local traumatic brain injury providers throughout this area. This program is particularly important because it will help reduce stigma and seek to reduce stigma for veterans and their family members who will be seeking help.
In addition to counseling and medical services provided by our psychiatrists, services for children and adolescents with serious emotional, behavioral, and other challenging conditions at the Rappahannock Area Community Service Board include our therapeutic foster care and our intensive in-home program with case management services.
We took in 3 special needs. 14 is blind, the other 2 have emotional and behavioral issues. And in order to maintain the placement, because we didn't realize what we were getting into, we ended up being in touch with the CSB, who's helped us with starting with Raymond, then Kira. They both got therapeutic foster workers, and then Kimberly was able to get a mentor, and they have worked on the behavioral, the parent problems, the dealing with the biological parents as opposed to the foster parents. Helped me because I've never been a parent. These were the first children actually we've ever had. They're not coming in to judge us, they're coming in to help and better not just the kid's life, but our life.
Our goal is to reduce multiple foster home placements and keep children in our community instead of out-of-home placements.
The Therapeutic Day program provides services to children ages 3 to 10 who are enrolled in the Fredericksburg Regional Head Start program, Spotsylvania Head Start program, as well as kindergarten and elementary classrooms in the City of Fredericksburg and Spotsylvania County. Services are provided in the classroom, and treatment focuses on social skills, problem solving, anger management, communication skills, impulse control, peer relations, personal care, and behavioral monitoring.
For individuals with substance abuse disorders, Rappahannock Area Community Services Board case managers, therapists, physicians, as well as managers of specialized programs such as Project Link and TANF, ensure individuals receive coordinated care, are linked to community resources, and are educated about their problems associated with alcohol and drug use to help them not only get to the road to recovery, but also to maintain a recovery lifestyle.
I benefited from services primarily by being able to get in and see people who were able to help me get stabilized and with drug court being the beginning of that for me, that certainly, I had issues with addiction for the majority of my life and was on a maintenance program that I was told I could never be without, a methadone maintenance program. And through drug court, I was able to get off of that and start living a normal, sober, clean and sober life. So that was one piece of the puzzle, but you can't just stop there. There are other things that need to be in place to help you come back into the world, and part of that is counseling, and for some of us it's also, you might have a dual diagnosis, so the medication management is essential. Drug court was a huge challenge for me. I went to graduate school and I thought drug court was more challenging than graduate school. And the reason for that, I think, is you really had to learn how to look at yourself. You had to, in addition to, having an issue with an addiction when you come in, and learning how to kick that and learning how to live sober and then become part of the community, you also have to look at you. And drug court offered an intense program that was built around steps that helped you get closer to who you were, get more honest. Going to court initially every week was frightening too, so there was a little scare factor involved. But the people in drug court, I can credit with saving my life, because I was in such a tailspin that I thought I could never pull out of it, ever. And those people believed in me, and they cared about me, and they've really helped me get my feet on the ground. And now, I've been clean and sober for quite a while, and I'm working in the recovery community, but if it weren't for drug court turning my life around, helping me turn my life around, I don't even know where I would be. Jail, institutionalized, dead. Drug court really gave me what I needed to become human again.
Drug courts are important to the community because it is the only proven way for courts to fashion a way of actually reducing recidivism and reducing the amount of substance abuse. The team includes the Commonwealth Attorney and the Public Defender and the treatment professionals and the probation officers and the judge. And we all sit down together and have the ability to, as a team, discuss what would be the best way of responding to both successes and setbacks, and to do it in a way which is focused on the treatment of the individual.
It's my role to ensure the needs of individuals like Paul Michaels here are assessed and the appropriate supports are in place. I work with the individuals and their caregiver to make sure that they're linked with community services, and I often advocate on their behalf, and I encourage them to advocate for themselves. My goal is to make sure that Paul Michaels' voice is heard and his wants and desires are not only communicated, but also achieved. One of the things that we look at and we look for is the changing needs of our individuals, such as Paul Michael. When we first met 15 years ago, he was in his home with his mother, and he wanted to continue to attend his high school, but he needed a wheelchair-accessible bathroom, and he also needed a lift. His mother's back was literally breaking. So what we did is we worked with the schools, with the Department of Rehabilitative Services, we worked with Medicaid, and we were able to get a grant through the Housing Coalition to put on a bathroom that had a lift so he could be a lot more independent. So we look at not only what's important for Paul Michael, but what's important to Paul Michael.
Participants at the Rappahannock Adult Activities enjoy community-based activities. While we have 5 locations, we have partnerships with numerous churches and area organizations so that our participants are out in the community for most of the day. Individuals like Paul Michael enjoy volunteering, recycling, going to the library, and riding the Fred bus, just like someone without an intellectual disability. So Paul Michael, when you come to the activity center, what do you like to do?
I like to go out.
You like to go out in the community?
Yeah.
What do you like to do in the community?
Go to movies.
How do you help for Mayfest?
Parkour.
What is your most favorite thing to do?
Being out.
Being out. You enjoy being out in the community?
Yeah.
Group homes are important because there's such a high need for our folks to get out and have independence, and group homes offer that independence, stability, friendship. They can get out in the public and get away from their families a little bit, be on their own. Residential counselors work with the guys to find out what their needs are. They'll talk to them, find out what they want to do. Like Paul Bieber, for example, likes to be independent. He wanted his own business. That's how this little movie rental thing came about. The counselors, that's their job, to basically counsel these folks and find out what they can do to help them be more independent. Basically, our individuals come home every afternoon around 4:30 from their daytime activities. They assist in planning the dinners. During the week, it's more or less like you would have at your home. You come home, you're tired, we relax around here. We may go out shopping, they watch movies, they help with dinner, just like any other normal family. We'll take walks in the afternoon, family and friends come by to visit. It's a very rewarding job. I've been here for a long time, but I like doing what I do. The guys appreciate everything that we do for them, and that's what makes it so rewarding. It's a job, but at the same time, you know, you come in happy. I enjoy working here. It's not like any other job I've ever had. It's a good job.
For individuals who are able to live more independently in the community, we have supported living arrangements and supervised apartment programs where staff are able to assist residents as needed. The Sponsored Placement Program is an option for individuals who are better supported living in the homes of family providers.
Our Specialized Transportation Program maintains a fleet of nearly 60 vehicles. Our drivers provide safe transport and a direct link between caregivers and day support activities.
Early intervention services are provided by the Parent Education Infant Development Program. For the past 30 years, we have been working with infants and toddlers with developmental delays and their families. Supports and services are provided by a team of early intervention specialists to minimize delays, help children participate more fully in family and community activities, and provide multiple opportunities to lead successful lives.
Our prevention programs work directly with youth and their families to educate them about healthy choices, as well as improve communication, decision-making, and problem-solving skills. We work with area preschools, community groups, and the public school systems. Our goals through the Dare to Be You, Second Step, and Too Good for Drug programs is to give participants the tools to be successful in school and throughout their lives.
The program for teen parents provides school-based education for pregnant and parenting teens in Spotsylvania County. We encourage a healthy pregnancy and a nurturing relationship between parent and child. No matter what age you are, it's tough being a parent. But when you're a teen, you need those supports and reach out to different organizations and different things to help with your parenting. Programs for teen parents provides that for our teens in Spotsylvania County. We have our teens finishing high school, and we also have them giving back to society, because one of the other big things in the programs is that they help each other.
Additional programs include Healthy Families Rappahannock Area, which provides support to at-risk first-time parents with free home visitations. Their goal is to reduce child maltreatment and increase school readiness. Rappahannock Area Kids on the Block uses puppetry to teach children and teens about important social issues. Kids on the Block create awareness and understanding in our community for people with differences and provide educational information on important health and safety concerns such as childhood obesity and bullying. Project Link works to help pregnant and parenting women with risk factors for substance abuse or personal histories of chemical dependency. They link individuals to resources to foster their physical, emotional, and family well-being.
As volunteer members of the board, it is our job to make sure that RACSB management and staff are doing their best to meet the needs of the individuals that we serve. We want to maximize our current resources and always strive to keep our eye toward the future in the services we provide.
Thanks to a number of new grants over the past year, RACSB has been fortunate to continue to grow and bring new services to the community. We're excited about the expansion of the Crisis Stabilization Program at the Sunshine Lady House for Mental Health, Wellness, and Recovery, establishment of the Rappahannock Area Crisis Intervention Team, and expanding services for veterans and their families. We look forward to opening 2 new group homes for adults with intellectual disabilities and expanding the day support programs at Rappahannock Adult Activities in Spotsylvania County. The Rappahannock Area Community Services Board staff, Board of Directors, and I remain dedicated to providing invaluable services to area residents living with the effects of mental illness, intellectual disabilities, and substance use disorder while preventing future occurrences. With your continued support, the individuals we serve can lead happy and healthy lives right here in our community.